civilians stepping up their siege of the capital. Missiles have landed in the heart of Kyiv, slammed into a suburban apartment building.
Now, despite the bombardment, Kyiv is holding out against the Russian attacks. Ukrainian President Zelensky releasing a new message telling his people to stand strong and fight.
All this as Zelensky gears up to address Congress and the American people tomorrow. We have team coverage this morning. Our senior foreign correspondent Ian Pennell starts us off with the latest on the ground in Kyiv. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. I just want to show you the scene of one of those Russian strikes this morning here in the heart of the city. You can hear the sound of the alarms from the buildings that suffered some of the blast damage. You can see the debris on the ground there. And if we move across, you can see all the storefronts blown out. And the same is across every single window in that block. And what we're seeing, I think, is a change in Russian tactics. In some senses, their land movements are stalled, and now they're targeting infrastructure, hitting civilian sites, as well as defense industries.
Overnight, more strikes on Kyiv. 3 areas hit, including this 15-story apartment block. At least 2 people reportedly killed as rescuers search for residents reportedly trapped under the rubble. With Russian forces trying to bear down on the nation's capital, the aerial bombardment is increasing. This is the moment a Russian missile destroyed a building right in the heart of the capital on Monday. The projectile intersected and then crashing into the street, killing at least 1 person and wounding several others. Another Russian missile striking a different apartment building in a residential neighborhood.
This is exactly what indiscriminate Russian bombardment actually looks like. An apartment block struck by a missile at 5 in the morning, and you can see the incredible damage that it's done. And scenes like this are being played out across the country.
Most of the residents are left with little more than the clothes on their backs. Tatiana and her 1-year-old baby were in bed when the missile struck. She says, "I saw a huge fireball flying towards us. I grabbed the baby and ran." The Russian advance has been stalled for days in most parts of the country, but the bombardment has only increased. And on the heels of the strike in western Ukraine near the border with Poland, a NATO ally, there are concerns the conflict could escalate.
The prospect of nuclear conflict, once unthinkable, is now back within the realm of possibility.
Images released by the Ukrainian military from the port city of Mariupol reveal the true horror of this war and the tactics now being deployed by Putin. The city's shell-shocked residents have been under siege for over a week, with little to no access to power, heating, food and water. Just last week, a horrific airstrike on a maternity ward in Children's Hospital in the city. A pregnant woman and her unborn child, rescued from the debris, have now died, according to the local authorities, who say that more than 2,300 people have been killed in the city since the Russian invasion began. Millions have now fled the fighting, but the journey to safety is long and arduous. Victor Akendo is with the refugees just arriving in Poland.
These tents outside of the main train station in Krakow are now operating 24 hours a day. Some have food and shelter. This one is packed with donations. You've got cribs and strollers to clothes. The latest numbers, some 72,000 refugees crossed the border into Poland overnight. The total here now approaching 2 million.
Ukraine's President Zelensky addressing his nation once again, saying we need to stand strong and fight in order to win and reach the peace Ukrainians deserve. And in Russia, despite the clampdown on dissent, some are resisting. This young woman interrupts a state TV broadcast with a sign saying stop the war. Don't believe propaganda, they're lying to you. The broadcaster cutting the feed, and like other protesters, the woman now arrested.
Well, scenes like this are now playing out across the country in a campaign really designed to try and instill terror and weaken Ukrainian resolve. But that's not happening at the moment. Incredibly, this morning, 3 European Union leaders are coming here to Kyiv in the middle of the war zone to meet with President Zelensky. Meanwhile, we've got those negotiations ongoing, the second stage of this 4th round, amid cautious, tentative signs of perhaps some optimism to try and end all of this.